So it's been a while since I've posted on Instagram. I've been working on my course, so that's one excuse, but I've also been a little bit self-conscious. Sometimes the side effect of digging deep and getting granular with your own playing is you start to notice all the little imperfections. But last week I poked my head out of the shame cave and decided to record a video. Let's not talk about the hair, okay? Let's just say cutting my own hair would not have been my first choice. You try it, you see how well you do. Anyway, I got some flattering comments. And by the way, this video isn't going to be all about, guys, I realized it's only all about just loving yourself. And if you put yourself out there, the universe will pay you back. This is not that video. But I did get a question. Language? I've got a language? I'll take it. Please tell me more about this language of mine. But it's also interesting to me that people think I'm doing novel things with sextuplets. Generally, I'll look at people like Justin Tyson and then my own playing and draw the obvious conclusion. But heck, if you guys want to learn a few tricks this old racehorse has put in a satchel over the years, if you want some of my go-tos for sextuplets, stay tuned. Because sextuplets are a common source of frustration and confusion. There you are, minding your own business, when suddenly, sextuplet! They come at us faster than 16th would, and there's something about a group of 3 or 6 that just throws us. So we've got our go-tos. There's this one. There's this old chestnut. And if we want to get fancy, there's this. But what if we want to break out of that? Well, today I'm going to give you X things to change it up. I'm saying X because I don't know how many there are going to be, and I'm too lazy to go back and edit the script after I figure it out. Level 1, doubles on the kick. So you can do a surprising amount by just incorporating some strategic kick doubles. If you take the standard 6-stroke roll and add just 2 kick notes to it, that gives you another whole dimension of options. I find the easiest way to think of this one is kick notes first, although in real life you'll be playing it from many different parts of the beat. So before we even work in orchestration, because orchestration was there for our old boring ideas too, so let's just control for it, here are a few things we can do. The first is just alternate between our kick permutations and plain old 6-strokies. The next is to make mix and match combos out of the two, including my favorite 3+3+2 structure, which, just to remind people, is an 8-beat phrase that goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that would sound like 3, 4. Next, you can reverse the sticking, which lets us do tom stuff like this. And finally, you can incorporate the hats, which is kind of the 80-20 of this linear modern stuff all the kids are doing. And if you're incorporating hat stuff, that allows you to play the kick simultaneous with the hats in instances when it wouldn't sound good on the toms. So, and to open the hats when you're doing that. Woo-hoo. And we're just getting started. The next go-to from my little bag of tricks is the 4-note grouping. Oh, sorry. Level 2, 4-note groupings. Here's the early 90s Weckel orchestration of that. 3, 4. Really quickly, here's the concept. Triplets or sextuplets can be 4 groups of 3 or 4 groups of 6. Let's just assume I'm clapping on eighth notes for simplicity. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. But they can also be 3 groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, some other common ways to do this. What's called 2 over 2 in linear playing, which I've done a whole video about. Three over 1. And 1 over 1, which is actually agnostic to the phrase length unless you orchestrate it. More on that in a hot second. So, quick review. 6-stroke rolls alternating with 2 over 2. Six-stroke rolls alternating with 3 over 1. Oh, and not so subtle sales pitch. The reason all this mix and match stuff is in my head is because I just designed a gigantic course that has a bunch of it. It's called the Solo Course. To hear more, better get on my mailing list. Link below the video player. P.S. I'll give you a bribe. Wow, who was that? Anyway, next application of our 3 groups of 4 thing is this metric modulation thing Matt Garska kind of made famous. Actually, let me play a couple beats in the original tempo, then we'll modulate. 3, 4. Okay, time for a whole new principle. Level 3, advanced 1 over 1. So I'm not sure I'd include this one if I were doing a organized top-down etymology of sextuplets, but learning in real life is messy, and not everything sounds equally good or feels equally good. I'm including this because I play it a lot. So a lot of dudes have been getting a lot of mileage out of 1 over 1. Here's the basic. It gets more modern and linear when we start on the hats in the left hand. But it gets even better when we apply the 3 groups of 4 thing. Or we could do something like this. Okay, finally it's time to liberate all these patterns by decoupling them from the need to land on 1 or on the last triplet or the 3rd sextuplet. Level 4, freedom.
Phase 1, collect underpants. Phase 2, phase 3, profit.
The best way to understand this might be to clap and sing. So we've got ba-da-da, 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 which is that 4-beat phrase over triplets. But we can also make many more interesting shapes, like ba-ba-da, 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 ba-da, ba-ba-da, 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 ba-ba-da. But imagine all the combinations you can make with 2, 3, and 4. For a quick demo, ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-da, ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-da-da, ba-da, ba-da, ba. If anyone's pulled out next to me at a red light, chances are you may have seen me doing this. I've been doing it since middle school, which is why I have no friends.
Oh, I get it.
Just kidding. God. Okay, so if we wanted a way to simulate this on drums, we'd probably use the 90s orchestration again. 3, 4. In real life, it'd probably look like this a little bit more. And if I wanted to work some 1 over 1 into it, 3, 4. One thing you could do is practice 5 minutes of singing the phrases to yourself and then continue that thread on the kit. Ba ba da ba 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 da ba da ba ba da ba da ba 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 ba. Ba ba da ba ba da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba da ba 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 da ba ba da. By the way, you guys who criticize me for muting the cymbals when I didn't strike them, what you're not hearing is that on the vocal mic, the cymbals vibrate when I hit the kick drum, so I have to mute them. Just so you know. Anyway, I hope this little quickie sums up a little bit of my approach to sextuplets for you. And as I alluded to earlier in the lesson, you want to be on my mailing list if you want to do anything other than skim along at the surface level, absorbing YouTube, then going on to the next. Do you want more structured sequence learning? Then I'll give you 3 free videos in 3 weeks that'll make your playing better than it's gotten in the last 6 months. Or so I claim. See if I'm right. Have a click below the player, enter your email address in on the next page, and I'll send those to you free. Of course, you'll also be on the mailing list, so you can hear about when I open any of my flagship courses. That's optional. You can always opt out of those notifications and still receive the free lessons. Dudes, it's been real. Enjoyed this one more than average, I would say. I'll see you again next Wheezy in another lesson of the For Drum likes to spice up your sextuplets, kid.